Hi, this is Marisha Trembetska for my Love Your Creativity and Make Money podcast. Now, as I record this, Thursday, 19th of November, there are exactly 6 weeks to the end of 2020, a year that has, I think, been pretty impossible for everyone, particularly in terms of if you've set very big goals, because certainly as this is a aimed at creatives podcast, we all know how so much of our normal ways of earning money or our projects have just been killed off, laid to the dust, put into abeyance, all those kind of things. So I'm inviting you to do what I'm doing, which is picking one of my goals that I set at the beginning of 2020 and saying, right, I've got 6 weeks to go and I'm going to get one of these at least finished and over the line. Now, you might be listening to this later in November or even December, but I'm just going to encourage everyone to come and join me in this, because we all know that the only way we achieve goals, particularly creative, is to go for it and set a deadline. I actually did a podcast about deadlines. I call them lifelines. It's the only way I can do stuff. And I've proved this by literally writing shows and booking the show and the opening nights in theatres a few months hence, etc., because that way I know I'm not going to turn up with nothing to say. So this is my entreaty to myself, but really to you, to say, what is one project? It can be more than that, but just make sure it's one that you say, right, between now and the end of 2020, I am going to absolutely get finished and over the line, whatever over the line means to you. Now, you might be listening to this in 2021, in which case have a look at one of your projects and either take 6 weeks from today or a really clear, obvious date that makes sense to you, maybe to your next birthday or the end of a season, whatever works, because we have to go, right, let's just get this done and therefore find the time. Now, if I look at my goals for 2020, there were things like, oh, let's go gigging across the world. Even the ones I had booked haven't happened. And where I was thinking of returning to Australia next year to do some shows, I did some shows in 2019, my Singing Psychic show, game show, and also my Queen of the Fucking World show. I was going to take it back in 2021. I haven't even bothered applying because who knows what's going to happen by March next year. Hopefully fine, but it's just too much of a big expense to fly there all the way up to Australia and book shows and book venues and flights and hotels, etc., and then realise that actually you suddenly can't get in because of lockdown. Brighton Fringe obviously got completely moved back as well, postponed. So I'm planning to do Brighton May 2021 because May 20 got cancelled. But I've got so many things I said I wanted to try and do, and they have proved kind of impossible in the form that I imagined them. But on the good thing, what have I done? Well, I said at the beginning of the year, I was going to start actually 3 podcasts, one related to my Queen show. In the end, 3 was a little insane, so I've gone for 2. And every Thursday, you get a new episode of this one, Love Your Creativity. And then every Sunday, I do my DJ Singing Psychic podcast. And I've promised myself that for a year, twice a week, each podcast has a new episode. And it's keeping me sane for a start, I have to say, because even though sometimes on a Sunday morning, the last thing I'm thinking about is, oh, I've got to get a podcast out tonight, especially because I'm doing some DJing and do some of the Singing Psychic comedy readings, etc. But it keeps me sane. So you will feel so much better on January the 1st if you have completed one of the goals, if you can find some time to carve out in the next few weeks to get something done. A bit like last week's podcast, Don't Forget to Remember. So that idea of don't forget how good you feel when you get stuff done. So join me and let me know how it goes. Let's all have a victory of some kind that was all about, it's not waiting on someone else to give us permission. It's not, it's none of those kind of things that it requires external yes. It can have that as part of it, but really make sure there's something that you can relate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you now, I've decided I'm going to do 2 things. I mean, I'd suggest only doing one goal, but I'm feeling particularly ambitious and they're quite different. One is I want to end 2020 in a better fitness state that I started, which is definitely not the case right now. So I've got 6 weeks to get some serious exercise in. Okay, we're in lockdown, but I can exercise at home. I can do press-ups at home, sit-ups. I can do, HIIT classes online. It's doable. My gym's shut, but I can still do that, and I can certainly eat well. It's much easier to eat well when I'm not going out drinking because all the pubs are shut and the bars. I'm missing dancing though. And then my other goal is I've promised myself I'm going to get your art and gear 33 ways to get your art and gear and 33 more ways to get your art and gear books out. I'm probably just going to do ebooks. I've got the cover done. I've written it once. It's got to be a few years ago. It's going to be massively updated. But I'm letting you know I'm doing it because I've got to have something when at least I got that done in 2020. Super important for me. So those are mine. Please do share yours below if you want. But I hope you're surviving okay. It's crazy time. Going out for long walks where you can and just be looking after yourself. And if you're feeling particularly down, self-compassion is so important. So get some help if you need, but just really remember self-compassion. So don't try and kill yourself with this goal. Just remember that if you're self-compassionate, you can appreciate where you're doing well, and you're also going, okay, I need to pick up. For me, right here and now, 6 weeks, let's get fitter. Let's get those books out and published, even if it is just, something very easy on Kindle or Amazon, or I self-publish without even doing that. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to do it, and I'm promising you that between now and the end of 2020. So have a great week, and I will speak to you soon. I'm on @MarissaT, MarySiat, on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow my singing psychic work as well through various formats, all very exciting, at Sing Psychic, and of course the Singing Psychic etc. is on YouTube. So if you do want to book me as an actor, talk to my agent. All the links for the other work are all in my bio on Instagram. But you can also certainly, if you do want a customised, unique event on either me talking about being creative or indeed the fabulousness of the Singing Psychic, then doing psychic bingo or DJing while yelling out tunes that you all need to hear, then you know where to find me. Be well. Bye.
Forget New York, Paris and Rome.